Shalom, my friends. Today we are going to have a difficult but necessary conversation. We are going to diagnose the single root cause of financial struggle. If you have ever looked at your bank account with a sense of dread, if you have ever felt that no matter how hard you work, you can never get ahead, if you have ever felt the cold grip of fear that you will never have enough, then this message is for you. I am not going to give you a list of 20 reasons why you might be broke. I am going to give you the one reason, the one hidden spiritual disease that is the source of all financial lack. By the end of this video, you will see it clearly, and you will have the ancient Torah-based cure to eradicate it from your life forever. But before we begin, I need you to answer a question in the comments below. Be brutally honest. What is the one thing you believe is holding you back from wealth? Is it your job, the economy, your upbringing, your own bad habits? Write it down. We must bring the enemy into the light before we can defeat it. Now listen. Our mission here is to build an army of 50,000 spiritual warriors who are ready to shatter the chains of poverty and build a life of abundance and purpose. If you are ready to be one of us, subscribe to this channel now. It is your declaration of war against lack. And if you are serious about transforming your financial reality, I have something special for you. For a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is closing soon. In this course, I unveil the full Torah wealth system, the same 3,000-year-old Jewish money laws that built dynasties, protected families, and created unstoppable prosperity. The link is in the comments. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter. You think you are broke because you don't earn enough money. That is the great lie of the modern world. I know people who earn $500,000 a year and are broke. They are drowning in debt, living from one massive paycheck to the next. And I know people who earn $50,000 a year and are building real wealth. The problem is not your income. The problem is your vessel. In Hebrew, we call it a kli. Your financial life is a vessel, a container. And the reason you are broke is that your vessel is broken. It is full of holes. No matter how much money, how much divine blessing flows into your life, it flows right out again. You are trying to fill a leaky bucket. I know this because I was the master of the leaky bucket. I remember a time early in my career when I was making more money than I had ever dreamed of. On paper, I was rich. I had the fancy car, the expensive suits, the corner office. But in reality, I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck, just on a bigger scale. I had credit card debt. I had a car loan that was suffocating me. I had zero savings. I was a fraud. I was projecting an image of wealth, but I was living in a constant state of quiet panic. One day, an accountant sat me down and showed me the numbers. He said, "David, you have a catastrophic spending problem. You are earning a fortune, but you are poorer than my assistant." It was the most humiliating moment of my life. But it was the beginning of my salvation. It was the day I stopped trying to earn more and started trying to fix my vessel. The common enemy we are all fighting is not a lack of money. It is a broken spiritual vessel. The hidden mechanism is that your spending is not a financial activity. It is a spiritual activity. Every dollar you spend is a vote for a certain kind of reality. When you spend from a place of fear, insecurity, and a need to prove your worth, you are literally drilling holes in your own vessel. You are telling God, I don't trust you to provide for me, so I need to create a fake image of security myself. The cost of inaction, the cost of not fixing your leaky bucket, is a lifetime of financial slavery. It is a life of stress, anxiety, and running on a hamster wheel. No matter how fast you run or how much you earn, you will never be free. Now, let me show you where this is rooted in the Torah. This is not a modern financial concept. It is one of the oldest spiritual laws in existence. In the book of Exodus, when our ancestors are in the desert, God provides for them with a miraculous substance called manna. Every morning it would appear on the ground. But God gives them a very specific instruction. Gather of it, every man according to his eating. Take only what you need for today. What happens to those who don't listen? The Torah tells us, some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank. The manna they tried to hoard, out of fear that there wouldn't be enough tomorrow, rotted. It became putrid. This is one of the most profound teachings about money in the entire Torah. God is teaching us that He is the source of all abundance, and that abundance flows daily. But it cannot be hoarded out of fear. The moment you try to hoard it, you corrupt it. The reason you are broke is that you are living in a state of hoarding consciousness. You are either hoarding your money in fear, or you are spending it on things you don't need to create a false sense of security, which is just another form of hoarding. You are trying to save yesterday's manna, and it is rotting in your hands. My personal breakthrough came after that humiliating meeting with my accountant. I went home and I was devastated. I was angry. I was ashamed. I opened the Torah and my eyes fell on the story of the manna. And I realized I was the man trying to hoard the manna. My fancy car, my expensive suits, my lavish dinners, they were not signs of wealth. They were signs of fear. I was so afraid of people thinking I was a failure that I was spending all my money to project an image of success. I was trying to hoard respect. I was trying to hoard security. And it was all rotting. That day, I made a decision. I sold the fancy car. I sold the expensive suits. I fired my accountant and hired a new one, a wise old man who told me, "We are not going to focus on your income. We are going to focus on your vessel." For the next year, we did a deep dive into my spending. We identified every single leak, every dollar that was being spent out of fear, insecurity, or ego. And we plugged the leaks. It was painful. It was humbling. But it was liberating. Within 2 years, I was completely debt-free. Within 3 years, I had a net worth of over $1 million. Not because my income had dramatically increased, but because my vessel was finally whole. But here's what I want you to understand. The leaks in your vessel are not random. They are strategic attacks by the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination to keep you in bondage. The Yetzer Hara knows that if you become financially free, you will have the resources to do great things for God. So it whispers to you. It tells you that you deserve that new car. It tells you that you need to keep up with your neighbors. It tells you that spending money will make you happy. And every time you listen, you drill another hole in your vessel. The modern world is designed to create these leaks. Advertising, social media, consumer culture, they are all weapons of the Yetzer Hara to keep you broke and distracted. Now, let me give you the practical three-step protocol to fix your own leaky bucket. I call it the Vessel Forging Protocol. Step 1. The Leak Audit. For the next 30 days, you will track every single dollar you spend. Not in a budget, but in a leak journal. At the end of each day, you will look at your spending and ask one question for each purchase. Did I spend this from a place of faith and abundance, or from a place of fear and lack? Was it a need, or was it a desperate attempt to fill an emotional hole? Be brutally honest. This audit will reveal the cracks in your vessel. Step 2. The Vessel Sealant. The sealant for a broken vessel is the practice of bitachon, radical trust in God. For the next 30 days, before you make any non-essential purchase, you will pause and ask yourself, am I buying this to signal something to others, or because it genuinely serves my purpose? If it is for signaling, you must walk away. This practice is the spiritual equivalent of applying epoxy to the cracks in your vessel. It stops the leaks at the source. Step 3. The Vessel Expansion. A whole vessel is good, but a large vessel is better. You expand your vessel through two sacred practices, giving and investing. First, you must give away 10% of your income. This is the practice of ma'aser, the tithe. This declares to the universe that you are a channel, not a reservoir. It is the ultimate act of faith. Second, you must invest a portion of your income. This is the act of planting seeds for the future. Giving opens the vessel. Investing expands it. Let me tell you about 3 people who did this, because I want you to see that this works for anyone at any income level. Story number 1. Maria. Maria was a teacher, earning a modest salary of $45,000 a year. She was single, in her late 30s, and had given up on ever owning a home. She was broke and in debt, with over $15,000 in credit card debt. She came to me desperate. She did the leak audit and was horrified to discover she was spending over $500 a month on clothes and makeup she didn't need. She was also spending $300 a month on takeout food because she was too tired to cook. These were leaks driven by insecurity and exhaustion. She sealed the leaks. She started cooking at home. She stopped buying clothes for 6 months. She started the vessel expansion, giving 10% to her synagogue and investing 10% in a simple index fund. The first month was brutal. She felt deprived. She felt ugly. But she persisted. Within 1 year, she had paid off half her debt. Within 3 years, she had saved enough for a down payment on a small apartment. She told me, "Rabbi, I thought I was broke because I didn't earn enough. But I was broke because I didn't believe I was worthy of wealth. Fixing my vessel fixed my self-worth." Story number 2. Ben. Ben was a graphic designer who was very talented but always struggling. He would get a big project, make $10,000 or $15,000, and then it would all disappear within weeks. He was living a feast or famine lifestyle. He did the leak audit and discovered his leak was generosity born of guilt. He would take all his friends out for expensive dinners, buy lavish gifts, and lend money he couldn't afford to lend. He was trying to buy love and approval. He was the rich friend when he had money, and then he would be broke and ashamed. He sealed the leak. He had to have difficult conversations. He told his friends, "I can't be the one who always pays anymore." Some of them were upset. Some of them stopped calling. But he realized those weren't real friends. He started the vessel expansion. He told me the hardest part was giving the 10% tithe. It felt like he was losing money, but he did it anyway. And a miracle happened. The more he gave with intention, the more high-quality clients came to him. His income stabilized. He was no longer feast or famine. He said, "I was always giving, but I was giving from the wrong place. When I started giving to God first, He took care of my business." Story number 3. Rebecca. Rebecca was a corporate executive earning over $200,000 a year. But she was broke. She had a mortgage on a house she couldn't afford, 2 car payments, private school tuition for her kids, and a lifestyle that required every penny she earned. She was 1 paycheck away from disaster. She did the leak audit and discovered that her entire life was a leak. She was living in a house to impress people she didn't like. She was driving cars to signal status. She was sending her kids to a school because she was afraid of what people would think if she didn't. Her entire vessel was made of holes. She sealed the leaks. She sold the big house and moved to a smaller one. She sold one of the cars. She moved her kids to a public school. It was the hardest thing she had ever done. She felt like a failure. But within 2 years, she was debt-free and had over $100,000 in savings. She told me, "Rabbi, I thought I was rich because I earned a lot. But I was the brokest person I knew. I was a slave to my image. Fixing my vessel set me free." Now, let me give you some advanced strategies to accelerate your vessel repair. Advanced strategy number 1. The 24-hour rule. Before making any purchase over $50, wait 24 hours. Write down what you want to buy and why. Come back to it the next day. 80% of the time, you will realize it was an emotional leak, not a real need. This simple practice can save you thousands of dollars a year. Advanced strategy number 2. The gratitude inventory. Every morning, Before you check your phone, write down 3 things you already have that you are grateful for. This practice shifts you from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. When you are grateful for what you have, you stop trying to fill the void with purchases. Advanced strategy number 3. The Sabbath reset. 1 day a week, do not spend any money, not a single dollar. This is a spiritual practice that reminds you that God is the source of your provision, not your wallet. It breaks the addiction to spending and resets your relationship with money. Now, for the advanced application. The level 2 hack is to understand the Kabbalistic concept of ore, light, and kli, vessel. The ore, the divine light of abundance, is infinite and always flowing. Your job is not to create the light. Your job is to build a vessel that can hold it. Every time you fix a leak, you are strengthening your vessel. Every time you give with intention, you are expanding your vessel. The size of your vessel determines the size of your wealth. This is why the Talmud says, "Who is rich? He who is happy with his portion." When you are happy with your portion, when you are not constantly trying to fill a void with spending, your vessel becomes whole, and God can fill it to overflowing. There is also a deeper understanding from modern psychology that supports this ancient wisdom. Behavioral economists have discovered that most of our spending is driven by what they call hedonic adaptation. No matter what you buy, the pleasure it gives you fades quickly, and you need to buy something else to get that same feeling. This is the leaky bucket in scientific terms. You are trying to fill a bottomless pit of desire with purchases. But when you shift to a gratitude-based, purpose-driven relationship with money, you break the cycle of hedonic adaptation. You find joy in what you have, not in what you buy. Let me address the 3 most common objections. Objection number 1. Rabbi, I'm too deep in debt. I can't afford to give or invest. My response? You can't afford not to. Start with 1%. Give 1% and invest 1%. The act itself is what matters. It is a declaration to the universe that you are changing your identity. God does not need your money. He needs your trust. Objection number 2. Rabbi, this sounds like deprivation. I want to enjoy my life. My response? This is not about deprivation. This is about intentionality. You can still enjoy your life, but you will be enjoying it from a place of abundance, not from a place of desperate need. The joy you will feel from a whole vessel is 1,000 times greater than the fleeting pleasure of a fear-based purchase. Objection number 3. Rabbi, my income is just too low. My response? Your income is a reflection of your vessel. When you fix your vessel, your income will increase. Opportunities will come to you that you cannot even imagine right now. God is waiting to give you more. He is just waiting for you to build a vessel that can hold it. Let me also give you a vision of what your life will look like when your vessel is whole. Imagine waking up every day without the crushing weight of financial anxiety. Imagine looking at your bank account and feeling peace instead of panic. Imagine being able to give generously, not out of guilt, but out of genuine abundance. Imagine having the freedom to say no to opportunities that don't align with your values because you are not desperate for money. Imagine leaving a legacy for your children, not of debt and struggle, but of wisdom and wealth. This is not a fantasy. This is the life that is waiting for you on the other side of a whole vessel. I also want to tell you about the spiritual reward for fixing your vessel. The Zohar teaches that when you become a proper vessel for divine abundance, you become a partner with God in creation. You are no longer just a recipient of blessings. You become a channel of blessings. You become someone through whom God blesses the world. This is the highest spiritual calling. This is why the patriarchs were wealthy. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were not just rich. They were vessels of divine abundance that blessed everyone around them. When you fix your vessel, you step into that same calling. So, here is my 30-day challenge to you. For the next 30 days, you will become a master vessel builder. Here are your 3 immediate, non-negotiable actions. 1. Start your leak journal today. Download a tracking app or use a notebook. And for the next 30 days, track every dollar and ask the question, faith or fear? This is not about judgment. This is about awareness. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Most people have no idea where their money goes. They are shocked when they see the leaks. But awareness is the first step to healing. 2. Calculate your first tithe. Look at your last paycheck. Calculate 10%. And give it to a person or organization that spiritually nourishes you. Do it with joy. Do not give out of obligation or guilt. Give as an act of worship. Give as a declaration that you trust God to provide. This single act will shift your entire relationship with money. 3. Open an investment account. It doesn't matter how much you put in it, even if it is just $10. Open the account. Plant the first seed. Declare to the universe that you are now an owner, not just a consumer. You are now someone who builds wealth, not just someone who spends it. This is a spiritual identity shift, and it will change everything. Remember the lesson of the manna. The reason you are broke is not because God is not providing. It is because your vessel is broken, and you are trying to hoard what must be allowed to flow. Fix the vessel, and the flow will be endless. As King Solomon says in Proverbs, "The blessing of the Lord, it makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe that you have the strength to face your leaks, to seal them, and to build a vessel worthy of divine abundance. This is not easy work. It will require honesty, discipline, and faith. But you are not alone. God is with you. The wisdom of the Torah is with you. And this community of spiritual warriors is with you. Together, we will break the chains of poverty and step into the abundance that is our birthright. Shalom, and may you be blessed with the wisdom to see your leaks, the courage to seal them, and the joy of a life lived from a full and overflowing vessel. Shalom.